Good morning. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV on this lovely Saturday morning. And yes, it's match day, where we face AFC Bournemouth. A bit later on, 5:30 kickoff live on Sky Sports tonight. If you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel. So by smashing that like means it keeps the channel towards top of the search and means new viewers can find the channel more easily. So please do give it a like. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come be part of this great community. It's free to do so, and I'm only 61 subscribers away now from hitting 1100. So absolutely fantastic. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed so far. And if you're new, and if you also want to keep up to date with live shows, upcoming shows, or pre-records, then please hit that bell notification as well. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign as well. Okay, right. Bits to get through. Bits. Yeah, okay. Right, first of all, tonight's game against Bournemouth is, it's a chance to go there and let's go and beat Bournemouth. They haven't had the best starts this season. They haven't been that great. They got they got walloped last week, 6-1 off City. Doku was the man who destroyed Bournemouth last week. So, look, at the end of the day, we've got to go down there, go and get the win there. Let's go and beat them. Last season, we drew 1-1. We went 1-0 behind last season because of Senesi scoring for them. But then Miggy popped up the goal. So let's go down there and let's go and get a result. Let's go and beat them this time. We couldn't beat Palace last season, but we've done it this season. So let's go and do the same to Bournemouth. Let's just go down there. That bad performance, as Eddie put it, like not playing at our best. Let's go to Bournemouth and play our best, and let's go and destroy them. Because if we're at our best, Bournemouth will not cope with us. I'm telling you that now. So there's no way Bournemouth will cope with us. I see a lot of Bournemouth fans are a bit chipper about this, thinking, oh, yes, this is an opportunity to come and get points off us. Sorry, we want the 3 points. We need the 3 points more than what Bournemouth need them. So let's hope we go down there, get the win. But anyway, that's for later on. This is for now. So anyway, the match officials for tonight, the referee is Chris Kavanagh. He's refereed us before. He's 38 years of age from West Brom. And he's been in the Premier League since 2016-2017 season. So his stats this season: 7 games, all competitions, 23 cards issued, yellow cards that is, but no red cards. He'll be assisted by Darren Kahn and Nick Hopton. The 4th official is James Linnington. The VAR is John Brooks, who we don't really like that much. And also the assistant of VAR is Gary Bezic. So there we go. Right, okay. Let's get into some more news. Anyway, what we've seen from Eddie Howe, he was talking, obviously injuries have been piling up. It hasn't been great. But it looks like Isak will definitely probably be back after the international break, now that he's been training on grass. But would it be a surprise if Isak was on the bench tonight? It wouldn't. Because as we know, Eddie keeps his cards very close to his chest and doesn't let anything out. So it wouldn't surprise me if Isak's actually on the bench tonight. I wouldn't be surprised. Harvey Barnes seems to be ahead of schedule now, so he seems to be getting back. He's on the way to go into running now the bone's healed. So that'll be another welcome return if Harvey Barnes is back as well. So look, all in all, things are moving in the right direction. Things, people will start coming back. We know Jacob Murphy's had his surgery for his shoulder keyhole. Eddie's House says he's going to be out for about 8-9 weeks. So look, that's a blow. We don't want any more injuries now. Just, let's start getting the players back now. But we saw against Man United, the squad we put out against Man United, where we had 6 fullbacks playing, went out there and beat Man United 3-0. So look, we have got a good strength and depth. Plus, it's not just the strength that we've got; it's the players are on board. They know what Eddie wants. They know the type of football Eddie wants to play. and they're on board with everything Eddie Howe asks of them. So, absolutely fantastic. Right. Right, let's go into some other news as well. Eddie Howe hasn't ruled out a return, or I should say a recall. So in January, we can recall a player back from the loan spell, Yankuba Minteh. Yes, he can be recalled from Feyenoord in January. Eddie Howe has not ruled it out. He said it's under consideration. He did say, yes, Eredivisie is a different league compared to the Premier League. The Premier League's a bit of a step up. Yes, it is. But as we've seen with Jeremy Doku at Man City, his first season in the Premier League, and look how well he's took to it. So, and he's the same age, 19 years of age. So look, Yankuba Minteh, if that's a possibility, we do bring him back in January. Why not get him back, and give him some runouts in the league. Give him just bring him off the bench until he gets set to the pace of the league, and then he may be a guy that will think, wow, we know he's got an injury at the moment. We don't know how long he's out for. And we do know he's been back in Newcastle for treatment as well, or assessment. So, again, we just have to see how this one actually plays out. But hopefully, Minteh will, if he does come back in January, I'm sure he'll get games like the FA Cup and things like that. So, let's see what happens. But again, we just have to wait and see whether we do activate a recall and bring him back in January, because he has done very well for Arne Slot this season and Feyenoord. Right, okay. So, the next one in question is, we spoke about this on the preview on Thursday evening. It's about the meeting on the 21st November where Premier League clubs are going to vote to have their say on banning loan moves between teams with the same owners, meaning that we could not arrange loan deals with PIF clubs in January who are in Saudi. This comes on the back of Dan Ashworth coming out and saying, we could do some deals with Saudi Arabia clubs. And that's obviously ruffled the feathers of the FA and the Premier League. Look, some people might have said Dan Ashworth shouldn't have said anything, but I think it's Dan Ashworth being very clever, because I think he's done that. That's a ploy from Dan Ashworth to see what will be said. And we've ruffled the feathers because they are straight in to have this vote. Now then, I think it's disgusting, because at the end of the day, why can't it? Surely it's illegal to restrict trade. It's like, just say what, say for instance, I don't know, Sainsbury's or any supermarket. We'll just put on Sainsbury's at the moment. Say you've got a box of chocolates, which is a Sainsbury's box of chocolates, which is a really good seller, but that store sold out of them. But they know the store, down south has got like mountains of them. So they say, right, okay, send us 10,000 of them, because they're outstripping every other supermarket going. So for that, and in their area, so if they want them chocolates, so they get them chocolates sent in. Then you'll have the other supermarkets. It's like the other supermarkets saying, whoa, hang on a minute. No, you can't do that. That's illegal. You can't do that. No, they wouldn't do that, because that's not what it's about. And I know it's different. Football is different to supermarkets, obviously. But what I'm just trying to say is, it's just like saying, oh, well, you're telling the company they can't just like get somebody from here to there, And I think, I know Simon Jordan's come out and said it's, Newcastle, it's not against Newcastle. Well, come on, look. We know Man City loaned Lampard from New York City. We know Watford, the Pozzo family, who own Watford, also own Udinese in Serie A. And Watford had many players from Udinese. So, look, why wasn't it brought up then? Why wasn't it brought up back then when Watford was signing all these players? Because they were exploiting the market before they had to put a limit on how many loan players you could have from any clubs. So why wasn't it brought out then? Because Watford weren't a threat. Because they knew Watford were either going to stay up or they were just going to either scrape relegation or they're going to go down. So they're not a threat to the big six. So that's why Watford got away with it. But because we're a threat to the big six, the Premier League are frightened. We've ruffled the feathers because we're on our way. They don't want us in this Champions League places again this season. You can see that. So look, again, I think it's stupid. I don't think it's the right rule. And I hope there's only 13 clubs vote in total. And then that means that vote is scuppered. It's gone. So we'll see what happens. Right. The next one is there is another vote going in as well. And it's to vote on tougher rules on related party commercial deals. So basically, it's another attempt to restrict us being Saudi owned. So basically, like say we've got seller on the front of the shirt. Now then, if these rules come in, we've then got to present to the Premier League that we've had 2 or 3 other offers around the same from different companies for the sponsorship. It's just a case of trying to restrict us having more sponsorship. That's what this is. Again, I think it's absolute nonsense. It's a load of bollocks and it needs to be voted out. Because I'll tell you now, it's just getting ridiculous. You can see how much they are scared of us. We've already broken up that big six. We finished above 2 of them last season. So, look, in fact, 3 of them last season, sorry. So, look, they don't want this vote in. They don't want these deals going through because they're scared. They're running scared. And we knew this would happen. You know, how much they try to delay the takeover. So, again, I hope the vote doesn't go through and I hope it fails. Because at the end of the day, I think that's a bit unfair. You know? Because how are you supposed to get 3 deals around the same price? You may get companies that don't want to pay that much money. So I don't know where this is going. I really don't. I don't know how they're going to get away with it. It's really just stinks. It stinks of corruption, doesn't it? But again, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, this is another vote that fails and we can move on with it. Look, it's been action-packed this morning, hasn't it? Full of stuff going on. See, never quiet, does it? Never quiet. I had to laugh yesterday, though. There was one thing, and it's actually come from El Equip as well. That apparently Newcastle, ourselves, Man City, and Real Madrid are all keeping an eye on the situation of Kylian Mbappe's contract, which runs out next summer. Now, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm not saying this as a doom and gloom. I don't think we would even touch Mbappe. One, look, he's an outstanding player. We know he is on his day. He's an outstanding player, and he's got pace. He's got pace to burn. But I think against him, I think his attitude doesn't look right. Look at the way he played when he was at St James's Park. He just did not look right at all. So I don't think his attitude helps. His wages are going to be absolutely huge. There's no way we're going to pay out huge wages. Not when our FFP isn't that great at the moment, so there's no way we're going to pay out huge wages. Plus, I think he'll end up in Madrid anyway. I don't even think he'll come to the Premier League. I think he'll end up in Madrid because that seems to be the place he wants to go to. So, look, I don't think it'll happen. But I can see why the guy or person put it out there. But again, I can't see it happening. So there we go. I just want to say one final thing. The show the other night, I was meant to have a Bournemouth fan on. Unfortunately, he didn't come on. I did message the man back, asking him if he was still coming on the show. He was trying to get off another show, but I did keep the show going a bit longer. When I did message him and say, look, I kept the show going hoping that you would come on, he looked at my message and totally blanked. Sad to say, he will not be invited on the channel ever again. You know, look, if you couldn't get on, just message back and say, sorry, I couldn't get on. Simple. That's fine. Just say sorry, you know. Just message back. Don't be ignorant by looking at somebody's messages and then not bothering to answer them. That's ignorance. You know, so at the end of the day, you know, it's not really great, is it, that you want to do this to people. So, look, as I say to that Bournemouth fan, and he knows who he is, and I'm sure everybody knows who he is if they've seen my post on X, look, at the end of the day, you are not coming back on this channel because you have failed miserably. You have totally blanked my messages. It's an absolute disgrace. No need for it. No need to be ignorant like that. If somebody messages me to ask me to go on a channel and I can't make it, at least I have the decency to write back and say, sorry, I won't be able to make it. Like I did with Danny from EFTV, TV, not the EFTV one, but his ATV, his YouTube channel. He's an Arsenal fan. He come asked if I was going to do a watch along, but because I'd had COVID and my ear was blocked and that, and hearing wasn't that great at the time, I just said, look, sorry, I'm going to have to pass on this one. And he was fine with that. But at least I answered him back and explained the situation, you know. And that's what I'm saying. Just, you know, you don't have to go into a full depth explanation. Just say, oh, sorry, I couldn't make it. And that's fine. And I would have accepted that. But because he just looked at my messages and totally blanked me, then I'm sorry, that is it. You've had your chance. You'll never be invited again. And so that's up to him at the end of the day. But anyway, said that, I will be back later with the pre-match, so do catch me at 4 o'clock with the pre-match, and we'll be looking at the Premier League scores as they happen. So let's hope the Hatters are being happy Hatters, and hopefully they're beating Man United at Old Trafford, because that would be absolutely fantastic if Luton go to Old Trafford and beat them. Absolutely brilliant. So let's see what happens with that one. But if you have liked what you see, please don't forget to smash that like if you haven't done so already. That'd be great. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash your subscribe, which is free to do so, and be part of this great community. And that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows as well. So there we are. That's it for now. But until then, take care. And remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And until later on, see you later. How are you, lads?